Hey everyone, it's Megan, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a different video for you. It's not going to be makeup or beauty related, it's going to be more of a personal story. And if you've been following my videos for a while, or if you've looked back on my past videos, you'll know that I do some videos called Meg's Musings, and it's just me chatting about different things that I've experienced in life or just stuff that I'm currently doing that's not beauty related. And yeah, so I feel personally like I have more to offer than just makeup, like suggestions and stuff. I'm not a makeup artist or anything, but I do have life experiences like all of us do, and I just thought it would be a great place on YouTube to share those experiences. And most of us, I think, are girls that watch this, so our life experiences are different than guys, so sometimes if you have a bunch of guy friends, you don't really get a girl's perspective on things. So maybe this will help, maybe this will be super downer-ish for some of you guys, but if you do like these types of videos, I'm really glad that you do, because you are the types of people that I make these for. So this is going to be a video about why I decided to go to therapy last year, and it's not a subject that I talk about with many people. I actually got inspired to do this video from my friend Kate on YouTube, and her channel is Pink Glitter and Some Numbers. You guys have to check out her video. She has the best reviews and she's really honest, and yeah, I think you would love her. But we were just talking about college and stuff, and she told me that she majored in psychology, and so that made me think, oh my god, that will be a video idea. It made me realize that I have a therapy experience that maybe it might help some people, I don't know. But I'm just going to get into it. And first, last year I had a really crazy year. It was definitely one of the most defining years of my life, and it was not the happiest year of my life by any means, but it was definitely a crucial year of my life that I will never forget. And even though I had some really horrible experiences, I definitely appreciate those experiences now because they really shaped who I am, and I have been able to help others since having those experiences. So at that point I was dating my now ex-boyfriend, and as I have alluded to in some past videos, I was in a car accident last summer, so summer of 2011, and it was right before my birthday, and it totally sucked. I had broken ribs and a punctured lung, a broken vertebrae on my spine, a broken cheekbone, just some horrible things that I wish upon no one. And that was a really, really tough experience because I didn't cause the accident. I was just a passenger, and I was the one that was most hurt. But the thing, besides getting physically injured, I couldn't remember the accident or 10 minutes before the accident or an hour after the accident at all. I have no recollection of it. I don't remember how it happened. I don't remember my conversations that I had in the car with my boyfriend and his friend that was driving. I just don't remember it, and I think that that was definitely a survival mechanism that my body used, so I can't have flashbacks to it, and I'm really glad that I can't, because I think I would just be haunted for the rest of my life. And if any of you guys have been in car accidents that you can remember, my heart goes out to you. I applaud you for going day to day and living with that memory, because I'm sure it's extremely hard. So after that, that's when me and my boyfriend's relationship started going downhill. He had sort of mental repercussions from it while I was still healing, and obviously I had mental panic because I couldn't remember, and there was money involved and just things that you don't want to have to deal with when you're I turned 19 a few days after the accident happened, so I was really young. I still am young, but it was just a lot to deal with for a young adult. And he started getting really distant, and we barely talked for the past for the last 2 months of our relationship before I broke up with him. And I try not to think about it too much because it was just like, I knew it was a lot of pressure on him because he felt responsible that I was like in that position to get into the accident. And I mean, I was basically in my own world. He didn't really understand what I was going through, which was extremely hard. You would think that someone who's that close to you would be sympathetic and empathetic and just like try to listen to you and understand what you're going through, because even though he remembered the accident, which I mean, my God, I don't want to have his memory of what the accident was like, but just because I couldn't remember the accident doesn't mean it affected me any less, and I don't think he understood that. So he was not a understanding person in the circumstances and didn't understand why I was afraid to be in cars after, like, to be in a car not being the driver. He didn't get it. He like accused me of being afraid all the time, and that's just, I was already having a traumatic experience. I don't need the person that I hold closest to my heart to be saying those things. So he just wasn't understanding, and looking back, it was just ridiculous for him to act like that. But a few months went by. We were still in our relationship, and then the first weekend of last school year, so my sophomore year and his sophomore year, he called me the first weekend at 1 in the morning and told me he cheated on me. So that was a great thing to wake up to in the middle of the night. I was in shock. I didn't even know what to think or what to do. I just kept talking in circles, and half the time I was silent. After an hour of being on the phone with him, I ran into my room and woke up my roommate and just started sobbing to her, and like, she was in the middle of sleeping, so she was already like, why are you waking me up and why are you crying? So like, props to her for like understanding. But yeah, the next day I broke up with him after a lot of thought, and it wasn't just because he cheated on me. Obviously that is an unacceptable thing in my mind. No relationship should continue if one of the people is cheating on the other. That's just like insane to me. But there was other factors like our experience with the accident and how he treated me after that just added up for me to realize that he wasn't the right person for me. And there's been a ton of signs that there is someone out there that is more understanding, and I give a lot of myself to relationships and friendships and just people in general, and I think I deserve that back. So that's the conclusion I came to, but it was a very hard conclusion, and I was absolutely heartbroken. And for the next like week or two, I barely got out of bed. I went to class. I looked like a disaster every day. I felt like a disaster. I never did my makeup. I cried all the time. You never realize how much you can like cry over a person until you're in that situation, and it's just like, why am I still crying? Like, how can you have that many tears? But you do, unfortunately, especially when someone is that close to you, and that was really hard to lose someone that I felt was that close to me. And that is when I started becoming really, really depressed, and it was just the pile of my emotions was just building up ever since like that whole year. Things had been happening, but the accident was like the tip of the iceberg, and then the cheating thing and breaking up with him was like, it just pushed me over the edge, and I felt like I was just spiraling out of control. And in the past I've had problems with like depression and stuff like that. I've never been diagnosed, but I have had like a lot of anxiety and and just mood swings and stuff, but it has never been as bad as it was last year. And after talking to one of my friends in particular, my one guy friend at home, he really helped me realize that I should see someone professionally, because they could offer different opinion. They could, I don't know, it would just be someone else that I can talk to other than my family and my close friends, because I didn't really talk about it to anyone else. I wasn't gonna go up to a random person on the street and say, listen to all my problems. And I was really, really scared about going to therapy. I had almost had to go in middle school, but I got out of it because I said that I wasn't depressed. So I've just had like sort of a phobia of going to see a psychiatrist. I saw it as a weakness, I guess. Like I wasn't strong enough to fix myself on my own, that I would have to see someone else, and I didn't like feeling that way. I'm a very self-sufficient person. I don't ask for help that much, which is definitely a personality flaw. I'm very stubborn, and like when my mental health is on the line, I think just from my friend helping me realize that your mental health is like one of the top most important things in your life, because you just need to be mentally healthy. You need to be like optimistic, so then you can get places in life. If you're always like pessimistic and depressed, you don't accomplish anything, and it just makes you feel worse about yourself. And that's what I was experiencing. Felt like I couldn't do anything. I was just stuck in a rut. And I'm glad he made me realize that I didn't have to feel that way forever. And that's a huge thing. If you're feeling depressed, you do not have to feel that way forever. And don't like make yourself feel that way. Don't like force yourself not to talk to someone, whether it's a friend or a psychiatrist. Just talk to someone, open up. And it's hard to open up. It was very hard for me to start telling my story to friends and then eventually the psychiatrist. But in the end, now that I look back on it, I am so glad that I did. I am in such a better mental place than I ever was before. And even though all of those horrible things happened last year, I just am so glad that I gathered the courage that I could go to a psychiatrist and get a little bit of help. And where I went to therapy was actually on my campus. We have a counseling service, and I just went the one day to that like office, and they had to take like my health insurance and my name, and they asked if it was like urgent, like if you're feeling like you want to kill yourself, you would have to say this is urgent, like I have to speak to someone now. But I wasn't at that point, so I said no, it's not urgent, I just want to speak to someone like in this week. So even though I gave them my health insurance, you don't get charged or anything. It's just so it's on file, which is a great thing if you have an on-campus or like in school, if you're in high school, if you have an on-campus or in-school therapy like or a counseling center, because then it's free and you don't have to like go elsewhere and have to pay for sessions. So that's a really good option if you're like worried about the financial side of it, because I was. So that week I was scheduled to meet with one of the psychiatrists here, and she was actually like the main one. She is like the top of the psychiatrist chain at our school. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but I'm glad that I had her, and it was a woman, so I didn't feel I think I would feel more nervous if I was talking to a guy. I'm not sure why. I'm like that with normal doctors too. I like having a woman doctor, so it made me feel comfortable. And I was still extremely nervous. My heart was pounding. I was like sweating profusely. I had to fill out this like survey thing to explain my emotions over the past few weeks, and it was just like on a gradient scale. So it was like, have you felt suicidal in the past week? Agree, disagree, blah, blah, blah. So I had to fill that out, and I think that's how I was like placed with the woman that I was placed with. And I also like had to write why, like a more like personalized reason why I was going, instead of just having those like agree, disagree answers, because you don't really know what a person's problem is until they actually explain it to you. So I went, and I just had to start talking about everything. And at first I thought my depression was stemming from the breakup and my boyfriend cheating on me. And then the more I talked, the more I realized this really all came from the accident, and just how our relationship started going downhill from that point. So therapy really helped me realize the true beginning of why I was feeling sad. It helped me pinpoint that, and I think that is like the most beneficial thing that I got out of therapy. I was able to understand why I started feeling extremely sad. I also realized, just talking about my past experience with my psychiatrist, most of my like times that I felt really depressed was after I lost someone important to me, like after a friendship ended, or after one of my guy friends who I really liked stopped talking to me back in freshman year. And then this, when I lost my long-term boyfriend. So it made me realize that it's loss that I really get depressed over, but the accident just intensified that so much more, because me and my boyfriend had gone through that together, and I didn't think that anyone else could have understood what we went through because they weren't there. And that's not true. Like, they can be even more sympathetic than someone that was there. Like my boyfriend, he was so not sympathetic, and my friends and my family were extremely understanding and let me have time to heal. And I would have thought that it was going to be the opposite, or at least I thought my boyfriend would have understood, since he was in the same situation. But I stopped going to therapy after, I think it was 5 sessions. I went, it's almost like a year ago since I started. So I went first semester of my junior year up until winter break. And after winter break, I really thought about if I felt like I would benefit from more therapy, or if I thought I could go without it. And I made the decision that I thought I could go without it, and I don't regret that decision. I think that I spent enough time with the psychiatrist to understand why I was feeling that way, and she helped me understand things that my boyfriend might have thought, or reasons why he might have acted that way. She really probed me with the right questions to think about, oh, there was this thing that happened that I wasn't even remembering, but yeah, that might be why this happened. So just having a fresh set of eyes is absolutely priceless. It really helped me, and the reason that I didn't go back was because I felt like by going to therapy, I was thinking too much about my ex-boyfriend. That's basically all we talked about, since that was the like reason that I was feeling depressed like a year ago. And I didn't want to have a whole hour every week focused on him and nitpicking things. That was just my personal thought on it. And obviously you might be very different from me, and you might think that would be really beneficial for you in your situation, but in my situation I didn't think it was as helpful to me, because I still was trying to get over the relationship and try to move on and stand on my own 2 feet and be my own person without being defined by the relationship. And like I said, I think I made the right decision, because I don't think about my ex-boyfriend as much, and it takes a long time to get over a really important relationship. So I'm not 100% over it, which might seem crazy to some people, but it's hard to completely erase someone out of your life after they have made such an impact. But I'm just honestly so glad that I went to therapy, and I think that it made me a much stronger person, and I don't feel weak that I went. I feel proud. And if you think that therapy might make you seem weak, don't think that way. Don't make the mistake I did thinking that, because it doesn't. And I know that psychiatrists are there to help you. They're not there to say you're messed up or you're thinking these things that you shouldn't think, you don't deserve to be upset. They're very understanding, and they just want to help you get to the best mental state that you can. And I really thank my psychiatrist for getting me to this point, because without going there, I could still be in a rut like I was. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy these days. I don't have any like really upsetting or sad thoughts. Like sometimes you just get sad, and everyone has bad days, but I am nowhere close to the level of depression that I was at. Like, I'm not depressed now, and I don't think I could have done that on my own. I really needed to see someone professionally. So I hope that my perspective on this is helpful to some people. Maybe you don't care about my life story, but I thought that this outlet on YouTube is really important. I think that we have way more to share than just talking about makeup and things that are like on the surface. I think talking about things that are inside that make you who you are is even more important than foundation or anything like that. And now I feel like I'm rambling, but you probably think I was rambling the whole time. But yeah, I hope this was interesting to some people, and maybe you know a little bit more about me, since I basically just exposed my soul to you. But if you have any questions, if you don't feel comfortable writing them in the comments, please send me a message, because I would be more than happy to talk to you like on that sort of level. I don't have any problem with that. After last year and all of the stuff that I've been through, I have tried really, really hard to be more transparent with my experiences and my thoughts on things, both in like my everyday life with my friends and family, and now that I make YouTube videos, I think I just should make these types of videos. It's something that I believe in, and if you don't like these videos, you don't have to watch, obviously. If you just like makeup videos, you can wait to see more of those. But these are for all of you out there that need a little bit of boost and need to hear something more than just talking about makeup, because sometimes I need a life chat, I guess. And yeah, so I hope you guys are doing well, and if you need anything, obviously leave me a comment or message, or add me on Twitter. That would be cool to talk to you on there. but I will see you very soon with a more makeup-y themed video. So I'll see you then. Bye.